transfer some money to my friend in Poland. Can you help me with that? You fill in the document, you and the translator both double check it so that it doesn't have any issues. And the same applies for any other country really, as long as the bank has access to the SWIFT system. Now that we basically looked at how actual the problem is, let's see at the problems themselves. The document has to be literary, it has to be compact, it has to be understandable, and it has to be correct. Generally speaking, this is the SWIFT system. It acts as a means of transferring your documents between banks, as long as they have access to this system. We are looking at this because now that we've looked at the translation of the documents, we need to look at how they're not just translated, but transported between banks. Generally speaking, every single contra agent of the bank, or the banks themselves, as long as they have access to SWIFT, they can give pretty much any information or document to all the other contra agents and other banks. Now that we've looked at the means of transferring the document, how do we actually translate it? Commercial or uncommercial bank either goes to its own employee, who has to be highly qualified for the job, or if the volume of the work is too huge, is too vast, you need to go to the company that translates documents. This is a form of a document that's used to transfer money. You can't really see it from here, but there are codes that generally say what's contained in this part of the document. There's a couple of things here, like the name of the system, the number of the what's it even called, of the account, and then you have the address, this, that, all the things you could possibly need, and you need to sign and fill all of them. This is a supply agreement. Generally speaking, it's also a document that's going to the bank. Sometimes the client himself is translating the document, but generally speaking, it's not necessary. There's two copies of the document. One, let's say the company is Russian, it keeps the Russian copy of the document, and the contra agent and the bank keep a copy of the translated one. The same principle applies to the service agreement. It's practically the same as the shipping one, but this time it's not about material goods, but rather some service you can provide. This is a very old document. It's from 2013, but generally the form is still used and is very much actual. The conclusions would be that translating documents of banking documents is a pretty vast sphere of the general translation sphere, while also requiring professionals in order to not mess up the translation. And there's not only the translation problems, you also need the means of delivering the document. In some scenarios, translation of the document can take a lot of time and resources, especially if it's a very big volume of documents. So sometimes banks need help from a very, very much qualified company. Thank you for listening. I would very much like to answer all your questions if you have any.
Roman?
Have you ever translated documents?
Documents generally, on a material scale, no. But generally, I always translate everything to English because it's my main language at this point.
Wow.
Very interesting presentation you had, really. You memorized all the presentation and showed us everything. Really great.
If I don't have to struggle, it's not interesting, or it's not that satisfying, really.
That's true.
You have to struggle to improve.
That's true. Thank you very much.
What was your name again?
Roman.
Roman, you have a very great beard. I envy you. I envy you.
Thank you very much.